This is the K8, the top of the line. I've had this one for a few years. It came here to Australia with me on the aeroplane in my hand baggage, and it's been absolutely wonderful to have here.
Talk about Kangen Water today. I don't even know if I'm saying that properly. So I'm really excited to have this chat with you. I've heard so much about this water. I actually haven't seen it in the machine in the flesh. So I'm excited to see the demonstration, learn more about it, because I've heard so much about it. So thank you so much for doing this demonstration for us, Sally and Neil.
It's a pleasure.
Teaching us about the water. So let's get into it, could you do a little bit of introduction and tell us what got you into learning about the water and what role you play with Kangen? And if I'm saying that properly, how do I say it?
Kangen Water is how I pronounce it. It's a Japanese word, means return to origin. I got involved with Kangen Water when I lived here in Adelaide about 13, 14 years ago. Somebody I knew kept telling me about it and inviting me to a demo. And I thought that I knew all about water. It's H2O. I don't like it. I don't drink it. So
Really?
That's what I thought.
I was the same. I didn't rate water at all back then.
So she kept inviting me. It's quite annoying. So I went along basically to shut her up. And what I learned that night was absolutely life-changing. I hadn't really known anything about water. It's a massive subject. So here I am 13 years later with my own business, and I'm living in New Zealand now, but I go between Australia and New Zealand quite a lot. And it's becoming extremely well known and well thought of because it does change lives for the better.
Right. Oh, Neil, what was your intro to the water?
Yeah, myself, it was about the same time as Sally, around 12 years ago, and mine was through a different guy, and I had health issues then, and I told him about that, and he just suggested I try this different type of water, and I thought, water's just water, and anyway, I gave it a fair go for 2 or 3 weeks, and my goodness, I had shocking pain in my body and inflammation, and it went from an 8 or a 9 down to a 2 or 3 just in that time.
Oh, wow.
I was sold pretty much on that. However, he showed me a demonstration as well, and what you'll see today, it helped me to be convinced, and I got my machine, and we drink it ever since. And
the rest is history.
Yes, the rest is history.
You find it amazing now that you have your water so often. Like, how did I even function without drinking water before?
One wonders.
Yeah, it really does. I'd say didn't drink any. I did used to drink it a bit, just for sport or something like that. But I found it very boring, so I'd put cordial with it a lot of the time, or something like that, just for the taste. But now my body, I look forward to it each day. And
yes,
yeah. My machine goes with me wherever I go. It's been all over America to Thailand and back, all over Australia, all over New Zealand. Very portable, can be connected to pretty much any tap. So I never have to be.
So when you go traveling, you take it with you. I'm always looking for that, because that's my big thing when I travel. I love to travel, but I'm like, what water am I going to, because I have a different filtration system. That's why I'm so interested to hearing about this, is like, but where am I going to get fresh water from? So can you take it with you when you're traveling?
Yes, I take it in my hand baggage. I've never had a problem.
Wow. Okay, I'm excited. Well, let's get into it then. Let's see this demo, Sally and Neil.
Yeah, and just quickly on that, Sally, I've got a friend here at the moment today, and he's got a caravan. So going away camping in caravans, he's going to get a spare machine and put that in his caravan. So when he goes, he's got water with him all the time.
Oh,
wow.
I'm looking at going camping. I want to do some camping, going forward. And I was like, what am I going to do about water? You might have just provided my solution.
Yeah, maybe caravans, definitely. Camping, we'll work on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, all good.
Invent something for me. All right, beautiful. Anything you want to say before we go into the demo?
Let's have some fun.
I
Yeah.
agree. I concur.
Great.
All right, beautiful. All right, thanks, guys.
All righty. Okay. When people start drinking Kangen water, they get what we politely call cleansing effects. And this could mean that you get a headache or that you have to make a lot of trips to the bathroom. But if something like that happens, it's actually really good because it means your body is detoxing and the water is working. So don't be alarmed. And we're going to ask you to drink plenty of water while you're here today. And our friend Neil over there is going to fill up your glasses if he finds an empty one. Okay. Now, the name of the company that makes these machines is, and I just got myself a mini whiteboard, is Enagic. It's a Japanese company. They've been around for 50 years. This is not a new thing. And in Japan, Kangen machines are a registered medical device used in 400 hospitals and clinics and recommended by about 7,000 doctors. The components of the machine include medical grade titanium and medical grade platinum. Now, this is not the latest kitchen whiz. This is an accredited piece of medical equipment that actually changes lives. And the water is called Kangen. It's a Japanese word which means return to origin. And I'll go into that a little bit more shortly. I think I've gone past the slide. No? All good. Now, if you're like me, when I first ran into Kangen, you might think that water's just water and that's nothing more to it. But there's a lot more to it than that, as I discovered when I first looked into it. Now, not all water is equal, and about 75% of our bodies should be water. So effectively, we should be water up till about here. Our body is more water than anything else. So if 3/4 of our body is water, the quality of the water has to be of major importance. And we say the quality of water equals the quality of life. There's a lovely picture there of me on the beach last weekend. Yeah, I wish. It says, no life exists without water. And when you think about it, every living thing on this planet needs water to be alive, right from a tiny ant up to an elephant. And every fish, every human being, every animal, every insect, every plant on this planet would not be here if we didn't have water. We all need water to be alive. And what are they looking for when they send spaceships up to see if there's life on other planets?
Water.
That's right. If there's water, there might be Martians. No water, no life. So no life exists without water. Now, as I said, the word Kangen means return to origin. And when water melts high up in the mountains from a glacial stream, and it trickles and bubbles down and goes down little waterfalls around and eddies and bangs into rocks, and it's full of calcium, magnesium, sodium and potassium. And you could say it's happy, singing, dancing water in its native state. It's alive, and that's what we're designed to be drinking. But by the time it comes out our tap, it has been dreadfully traumatized. There's been so many things added to it. It's no longer alive and beautiful like we were meant to drink. And it's actually not very good for us at all. They did a study in America and they found 319 contaminants in tap water, including the residues of pharmaceutical drugs, antidepressants, and birth control pills, all of which were going into the bodies in minute amounts of everybody consuming that water. Not good for us. Now, there are several places in the world where these beautiful waters exist in nature. There's one in Lourdes in France, which is quite well known. And I've spoken to people that have been there. and they tell me that there is a wall outside the town with crutches and wheelchairs on it from people that no longer need them after they have been drinking and bathing in the water in Lourdes in France. There's one in Nordenau in Germany, but my favourite one is a place called the Hansa Valley, high up in the Himalayas. And there's a race of people living there, I think they're called the Humbercuts, and they live on average about 120 years. They don't have the modern diseases, and they are said to be the happiest people on earth. Now, high up in a valley, up in the Himalayas, what do you think they might be drinking? Glacial water. And when they first get it out of the mountain stream, it's so full of tiny bubbles that it's milky, and they call it glacial milk. Now, our Kangen machine, and I have one in the kitchen over there, the same thing, when you first pour the water, it's quite milky because it's so full of bubbles. Now, those little tiny bubbles are antioxidants or molecular hydrogen, which are very, very good for human beings and animals. So that's why our water is called Kangen, because it returns water from the tap, puts it through the Kangen machine, and what comes out is water like you would find in the Hansa Valley or in a mountain stream. So it's called Kangen because the word means return to origin. So you're getting the most beautiful water. Now, Kangen water has three main benefits. First of all, it's a potent antioxidant water, and that is actually the most important thing. Secondly, it's hexagonal. I'll tell you a bit more about that later. And thirdly, it is alkalized. Now, I'm not a scientist or a doctor or a pharmacist, so this is going to be quite a simple explanation, but we'll go through each one of these and explain to you what they mean. Now, first of all, antioxidants. Now, most people have a vague idea of what antioxidants are. Are they good?
Yes.
Yep,
Oh, yes.
they're very good. So what would the opposite to antioxidant be?
Oxidant.
Correct. Oxidants, also known as free radicals. So I have a picture here of the oxidation process. Oxidation is rusting, aging, and sickness. And here we have an apple. What happens when you put it on the bench and cut it in half? It goes brown. It is oxidized. And same with, we have a handsome young man here, and here he is about 50 years later, he has oxidized. So with Kangen water, we have anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidizing. So one glass of this water has got so many antioxidants in it, billions, you couldn't eat enough fruit and vegetables in a day to get that number of antioxidants into your body. Okay, this is another example. I have here two glasses, both with nails and screws in them, and they've been left there for 9 months. Now, this glass here has got tap water in it, and this has Kangen. Now, as you would expect, the tap water has gone rusty. It has oxidized, but you'll notice that the glass with Kangen water in it is still almost clear. It hasn't oxidized. So if this is an example of what's going on inside my body, I know which one I'd rather have, the one with the clear water. So the amount of antioxidants you maintain in your body is directly proportional to how long you will live. Neil, I'm going to get you to just pour a little bit of all those drinks and waters into the glasses, please.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with this quote. The amount of antioxidants you maintain in your body is directly proportional to how long you will live. Now, that's a quote by Dr. Richard Couper, and he is the director of the National Institute of Anti-Aging Research. So we can absolutely flood our bodies with antioxidants. We are far more likely to live a long, healthy life. Now, while Neil's putting a bit of liquid in those bottles, we have here a method of testing all these waters and seeing if they've got antioxidants in them and they're good for you, or if they're oxidizing your body and making you sick, old, and rusty. So this is called an ORP meter, stands for oxidation reduction potential. and it has a screen on it, which has got a number on it. Now, if it's a positive number, it means that the beverage is oxidizing your body or making you sick, old and rusty. And if it's got a negative number on it, it means it's got antioxidants in it and it's really good for you. So we're just about there.
Slow.
That's all right.
Practice.
That's all right. And because I am used to doing this in New Zealand, all these a lot of these waters are quite new to me, so I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll soon find out. Now, when there's a positive number, there's no sign in front of the figure, but when there's a negative number, there's a negative sign in front. So, Neil, I will get you to hold the meter.
Yep. How they're looking level-wise.
That's
there.
fine.
Okay.
Absolutely
Good.
fine.
Right.
For your level. Okay, 7-Up. 7-Up represents Coke, Fanta, and every drink in that fizzy drinks aisle in the supermarket. Now, you tell me what it says.
It says positive and it's 450.
Well, okay. I'm just going to rinse that in the tap water because I forgot to rinse. Oh. Haven't put any in the tap just yet. That's all right. All right, we'll just do that now. I'll just rinse that. Okay, so that's oxidizing your body. Powerade. Now, I don't know about here, but in New Zealand, they tell kids they should drink this at half time when they're playing soccer on Saturdays.
Positive, and it's 462, around 460. It's staying. Yep.
Wow, that is not good. Certainly not good for children, not good for anybody else. Okay, so what's this one? Spring water. Oh my God, look at the plastic. I think we picked that up from a petrol station, didn't we?
385 positive.
Right, spring water, oxidizing your body. Now this one, Alka-Power. This is supposed to be alkaline, is that correct?
I think it was.
Yeah, it says no. Well, we're not testing the alkalinity at the moment. We're testing the antioxidants to see if there are any. So let's see. What is
Okay, we've got. It's positive. It is less than the others. About positive 180. But definitely.
that's the best
positive.
so far. Okay, now this one is interesting. It says Aqua Pura. It's been through the reverse osmosis process. Now, the reverse osmosis process takes everything out of the water, all the minerals that we need. So we call it dead water. It is very pure, H2O, and it doesn't have all the things that healthy water will have in it. So let's see what Aqua Pura is.
It is positive, and it's positive 280.
Okay, not quite as bad as Coke or 7-Up.
No, actually, it has gone up. So it's gone up to about, if you can see that, it's positive now 330, 340. So,
It's still going up. Okay, now vodka. What do you reckon?
I was tempted, but I said no.
Well, this
Well,
might be surprising.
actually, wow, I might have a swig of that. It's positive 10. Like yeah. Wow, I never knew that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost neutral.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, that's just surprising, isn't it?
It is.
And
Yeah.
this one is Mount Franklin. Is this the most popular one here, Mount Franklin? Is that what everybody drinks?
Yeah, actually, I think that one's owned by Coca-Cola.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I
it
think
is.
so.
Yeah. So we'll test Mount Franklin, see if it comes up to its advertised quality.
Yeah, that one has positive, and it's around the 280, 290 mark.
Okay, not quite as bad as 7-Up, but not good. Still oxidizing your body.
Yeah.
Now this one is tap water from Ross Trevor.
Adelaide, South Australia.
South Australia. Let's see what it says.
Positive 400, positive 420, 430. It's still going up. Yeah, around about positive 4, now 440, 450. Wow.
That's actually as bad as 7-Up.
What's it in New Zealand, Sally? Tap water.
Oh, about the same. I've had it up to 600. We just got chlorinated water. And this is Kangen water.
Kangen water, it's got a negative, and it's negative 400, hovering around negative 400. Dropped back a bit, but yeah, 363, yeah.
Well, that's great. It's the only one that is not oxidizing your body and actually flooding it with antioxidants. Thank you, Neil.
No problem.
Great. All right, so that hopefully gives you a bit of an idea about the antioxidant quality of the water, which is actually the most important quality. Now, the second quality I mentioned was that the water is hexagonal. Hexagonal. Who can tell me how many sides a hexagon has? 6. Right. Thank you, Helen. Yes, a hexagon has 6 sides. Nature loves a hexagon. You ever noticed the shape of honeycombs? Yeah, it's wonderful. Now, when water is in a mountain stream or when it comes out of the Kangen machine, the molecules are hexagonal in shape and they are in small groups of about 5 or 6. And they are very easily absorbed into our cells. The entrance to the cell, which is called an aquaporum, is also hexagonal, I believe, so it's totally compatible for getting into your cells. And this water gets into your cells, I think, about 6 times faster than any other water. However, by the time the water comes out our tap, the molecules are no longer hexagonal in shape. They are now pentagonal. And a pentagon has how many sides?
5.
5 sides. Pentagonal molecules are in great big groups of about 26. And because they're so big, they cannot easily get into our cells. So you've probably had the experience of drinking lots of other water and found that it sloshed around in your tummy. I challenge you to drink 8 glasses of Kangen water, and I am absolutely sure you will not get that. You will not get bloated because it gets absorbed the minute it enters your mouth. It gets to your brain in 30 to 60 seconds, get to your skin in about 10 minutes. Most of it has actually been absorbed before it gets to your stomach. This hydrates your body at a cellular level. The way I've got the picture of the chain link fence there is that, as an example, if you throw a football at a chain link fence, what happens?
Bounces off.
Of course it does. That's your large groups of pentagonal molecules. What happens if you throw a handful of marbles at your fence? That's right, most of them will go through. Now, most people haven't heard about this before, so just so you know, I'm not making it up. There's a whole book about it. It's called The Water Puzzle and the Hexagonal Key, written by Dr. Neil John, and it says positive scientific evidence of hexagonal water and its positive influence on health. It's quite a technical book, but it even explains how DNA that has become crooked can actually be straightened using hexagonal water. So that's the hexagonal quality of the water. Gets into your cells really quickly, is totally compatible with human cells. And the third quality of the water is its alkalinity. Now, this is Dr. Otto Warburg here. He received the Nobel Prize in 1931. He demonstrated that all forms of cancer are characterized by 2 basic conditions. 1, acidosis, which is having an acidic body, and 2, hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen. Now, we're going to do the alkalinity test in a minute, but we've already seen that this floods your body with oxygen. Cancer grows in oxygen-deprived, acidic tissue. Disease cannot exist in an alkaline body. So if we can get our body to a slightly alkaline state, which is how it is designed to be, it's its native state, then we are much, much less likely to get sick. So the next thing we're going to do, we are going to test all these and see if they're acid or alkaline. acid being harmful for people and animals, alkaline being good for people and animals. Now, when I was in school, I wasn't very interested in science, so I never took much notice, but I'm hoping you've all heard a little bit about the pH scale. It stands for potential hydrogen. We say it stands for perfect health. Yes. So this picture here shows the pH scale. It goes from 0 to 14, and in the middle is 7. 7 is neutral. Anything below 7 is acidic and harmful for people and animals, and anything above 7 is alkaline and good for people and animals. So what we're going to, I've got some pH drops here. They're used for testing swimming pools and such like. We're going to put a few drops in each one of these, and by what colour they go, we're going to be able to tell whether they're alkaline or acidic. All righty, and you can be my stirrer, Neil.
Okay.
Good at stirring.
Be good at that.
Okay. We'll see if some of these people have been telling the truth. Okay, and tap water and Kangen.
Oh, God.
Yeah, bit of a difference.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just do a bit of stirring up here. There we go. Thank you, Neil. All right, so that's really not surprising. That's all your fizzy drinks. Nice and acidic, huh? Powerade is just as bad. Spring water. That's pH of, I would say, about 5 or 6. Still acidic. Now this is quite good because it's advertising itself as 9 to 10 pH, and it's actually telling the truth. So that's good. The way they usually do that commercially is by adding a bit of baking soda, but we don't know. This is the reverse osmosis one. So it's actually slightly acidic. Unfortunately, the vodka is also slightly acidic.
Oh.
Mount Franklin is also slightly acidic, about 6. Now, tap water, usually by law, is supposed to be very close to neutral, which it is. And if it isn't, they usually add a chemical called lye to it to make it more alkaline, mostly so it doesn't rust the pipes, because something acidic will rust the water pipes. They care about their pipes, not your pipes. And that's Kangen, which is obviously beautifully alkaline. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some Kangen water and tip it in and see if we can get these to change colour by adding some really good water to them. So, 7 up. Sorry. Nope. Okay, the spring water. Yes, that's good. That one doesn't really need much added, it just makes it a darker colour. Now remember, this is the one that's been through the reverse osmosis process, so it is dead or empty, it has nothing in it. So when we add the Kangen, it immediately changes colour. Vodka. Vodka and Kangen, anyone? And Mount Franklin. Yes, we can change that. And tap water. Yes, we can change that. So some of them, like these two, were just too acidic for us to be able to change, but the others we've all managed to change. It's quite interesting. Now what I'm going to do, I've got the Kangen here and the 7 Up here. So I'll just put a wee dash in there. Yeah.
Wow.
That's changed the Kangen into an acidic drink. And now I've turned every one of those into an acidic drink just by adding a bit of diluted either Powerade or 7 Up. That's how acidic these drinks are. You wouldn't drink them yourself. You certainly wouldn't give them to your children or grandchildren. simply not good for you. It takes 35 glasses of Kangen water to neutralise 1 can of Coke or Fanta or lemonade.
Wow.
35 glasses. So that is just a demonstration of the alkaline quality of our wonderful water. Okay, this is just very quickly a few things that Kangen water does. It removes acid waste from your body, which is why you may get a wee detox happening when you start. Detoxifies the body. Super hydrates at the cellular level. That's those tiny little hexagonal molecules which actually get into your cells very easily. Gets the body back to homeostasis. Now, homeostasis is simply balance. When a baby's born, it's usually in perfect balance or homeostasis, about 95% water, slightly alkaline. It's only what happens to us afterwards that gets the body out of kilter. What Kangen water does, it gets the body back to homeostasis so that it can do what it was designed to do and heal itself. Our bodies are amazing pieces of equipment, and they were designed to heal themselves. We need air, absolute number one essential. We need water. We need good food. We need sunshine. We need exercise. We need good sleep, and it does help to be happy. You've got all those things in place, you should have a good life. Gives you more energy and focus, and most people notice this pretty quickly. Helps you actually become younger. Anybody interested? I think we all are. This is a picture of Mr. Oshiro, who is the chairman of our company, and somebody from the American organization. They are both the same age, but Mr. Oshiro has been drinking Kangen water for decades, whereas the American gentleman is much more recent. But they are both Japanese and they are both the same age. And I did see Mr. Oshiro in America a few years ago at a conference, and he was doing Japanese dancing on the stage. Is a great philanthropist and a very nice man. He's done a great job by creating this company and this product. And it assists with the reversal of degenerative diseases, all the modern diseases. So if you get your body back to homeostasis and hydrated, you know, it's going to assist a great deal. Improve sports performance. Now in New Zealand, I've got a fellow who runs a jiu-jitsu company, and he brought me his medals to show me, New Zealand champion, and he says that's because of Kangen. But a lot of sports people just won't be without it ever. It enhances their performance greatly. And markedly enhances recovery from injury or illness. So, I mean, when people will, say, climb a mountain or something without a lot of preparation, they can be very, very stiff the next day. But because this water gets into your joints and the lactic acid comes out, people don't get nearly as sore after exercising. Now, this is Dr. Hiromi Shinya, and he invented the Shinya method of colonoscopy. Now, does everybody know what a colonoscopy is?
Yeah.
Oh, so I shan't have to explain it. The new way of using a camera. And he is a great proponent of Kangen water. He and his team have done 370,000 colonoscopies. I personally wouldn't apply for that job. But he puts everyone on gallons of Kangen water and a really healthy diet. And the people that have followed this, not one of those 370,000 has had a recurrence of cancer. So he basically won't treat people unless they're drinking Kangen water. Now, he's written a couple of books, that's one of them. And the next few slides are a wee bit yucky. They're before and after slides of people's colons. Before and after drinking Kangen water and being on his diet. He says your body is designed to heal itself. Ignorance is making us sick. It's not that we're stupid. We just haven't been educated. We don't have the information on how to correctly look after this amazing piece of equipment that we have to go through life with. Now onto these lucky slides. Okay, on the left is a before photograph of a 45-year-old female with breast cancer and chronic constipation, and on the right is after Dr. Shinya's treatment and Kangen Water. This one is even worse. It's really disgusting. On the left is a 65-year-old with cancer and nuchal plaque. But to me, this is almost comes into the miracle category, that you could now be so pink and clean 3 months after treatment. It's pretty amazing. Now, the Kangen machine makes a number of different waters, and one of them is very acidic, and it's highly antibacterial. This person has eczema, which is very common these days, and they have put the antibacterial water on the exterior of their ankle, and they've drunk lots of Kangen water, and that only took 2 weeks for it all to clear up and not to come back. Likewise, this is a fellow with psoriasis. He's got a terrible case of psoriasis on his back. That was a few months later, I think from November, about 6 weeks. The same thing, drinking Kangen water and spraying it on his back. Really good. Now, those are all overseas pictures. This one is my photography. I'm not the world's best photographer, but this was a fellow who came to see us, and he had a mobile mechanic business, and he had bad arthritis. And we lent him a machine, and we went back to get it after 3 weeks, and he wouldn't give it to us because his hand now looked like this, and had to get one of his own. But it was great to see these changes that can happen in quite a short time. So Kangen water helps with the reversal of degenerative diseases. Now I'm going to try and clear my wee board here. Next thing we're going to have a quick look at is the main causes of disease. You probably guessed some of them already. And the first one is dehydration. So what is dehydration? Anybody volunteer?
Lack of water.
Yeah, something like this poor fellow. Dehydration is drying up. If you have a beautiful ripe plum and you suck all the water out of it, what do you get?
Cream.
Right. And that's a dehydrated plum. And usually, as people get older, they drink less and less water, more and more fruit juice, coffee, tea, soft drinks, and they tend to shrink. Have you noticed that? Mm-hmm. And if you do an autopsy on a person that's died of natural causes, say in their 90s, you will usually find their internal organs have shrunk as well, because they've become very dehydrated. Now, I did a wee experiment with a couple of prunes at home, just for fun. I soaked this one in Kangen water overnight, and as you can see, it's lovely and plump, and that's a normal prune. But the amazing thing to me was that when I squeezed this prune, I thought it would squash up. It didn't. It was firm. That water, those little hexagonal molecules, had actually got into the prune and plumped it up.
Oh, the actual tissue up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought it was. I was quite pleased. Now, that of course is a lemon tree, and there's one just out the door that looks a bit like that. I came over here a few years ago in February, and as we all know, Adelaide, it doesn't really rain, and it's very, very hot. But I saw the lemons and I was so thrilled, so I went out and picked a bunch, put one on the chopping board and chopped it up. And inside it was brown and dry. There was no juice. So I put the hose on a trickle on the tree for about 10 days, went and picked a lemon, cut it in half, and it was juicy. So the tree was just dying of dehydration. And there's a little lesson to be learned here, because on the outside, the lemons looked great. They had a beautiful colour, a lovely even skin. You couldn't tell what was going on inside the lemon, that it was suffering terribly from dehydration. And it can sometimes be the same for us. Sometimes we look okay on the outside, but we don't know what's going on inside our bodies. So that's the first major cause of disease, dehydration, and honestly, most of the population is suffering from dehydration. The next one is acidosis, which is an acidic body. And this fellow here, his name is Jackson. He's just holding up 2 bottles of Coke, 2 cans of Coke to show you what not to do. He's a Kangen boy. But I had a person sitting in one of my demos, a young fellow in the front row, and he was drinking 7 cans a day. And 2 cans a week, according to some studies that have been done, will increase a man's risk of prostate cancer by about 78%. 2 cans of Coke a week. And you look, just how much of it is sold. We go to the supermarket, you see people with boxes of stuff. Oh dear. Not good. Okay, 3rd major cause of disease. Inflammation. Now, people usually think of inflammation as tennis elbow, gout, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, etc., and they are all inflammation. But every disease is accompanied by inflammation. And the 4th thing, oxidation. Hey?
Oxidative stress.
Yes, oxidative stress, free radicals in the body. And like they were all, apart from Kangen, tested positive, although the vodka wasn't very positive. For oxidizing your body. So if somebody is sick, you can be fairly sure that they are dehydrated, acidic, inflamed, and oxidized. Make sense? Good. So just to quickly wrap up that, the 3 magical benefits of Kangen water. 1 is potent antioxidant water, which is actually the most important thing. Secondly, hexagonal water, so those little hexagonal molecules get into your cells. And thirdly, it is alkalized, so it will help your body to maintain just a nice, slightly alkaline pH, which is how we should be. Now, those are all the symptoms of dehydration. And I'm going to give you a little treat today. We're going to have some tomatoes. Now, you will usually bring tomatoes home and wash them in tap water. So today we're going to do a little test. And we're going to wash some in tap water and some in strong Kangen water with a pH of 11.5. And there are actually 100 uses for Kangen water, at least. And if you use the machine fully, it will pay for itself quite quickly, because you won't have to go and buy soap powder, antiseptics, cleaners, all those things. Tap water. So this one's tap. And I've got some strong Kangen water over here. This has got a pH of 11.5. We'll leave those for a few minutes. Now, you've got chlorine in your water here. Everybody knows that?
Yes.
Yep, and we all know it's a known carcinogen.
Yep.
Tap right side's
Okay, then it's tap. These are chlorine drops, and they're going to, we'll leave them for a minute. And if the water's got chlorine in, it will go yellow. If it hasn't got chlorine in, it will stay clear. So the tap water is obviously highly chlorinated. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to peel this mandarin with great difficulty. There we go. And put the peel in the tap water, which is chlorinated. And we'll see what happens. Then if we want to, we can eat the mandarin. There we go. Who would like a piece? There we go. There you go. Okay, I will put that a little stir there. And then we'll tip the water out. What has happened to the chlorine?
magically disappeared.
I wonder where it is. They say when you have a shower, of course, your body gets hot and expands and your pores open, that it's like drinking 8 glasses of chlorinated water. We do have a shower attachment, for that Enagic make, which is absolutely wonderful to have in your shower, and you notice the big difference. There was somebody in New Zealand that had I think they call it a shower dome, where your shower is actually enclosed. It's not open at the top. And the plumber said that the guy was like he was in a gas chamber. Yeah, he got one of these at one of our shower units, and showering was a delight after that. So obviously Kangen water has no chlorine in it. Fantastic. So you're not drinking it? All right, so what are we going to do with these tomatoes? Have a wee look. These are the ones that have been washed in tap water, and the water's clean. These are the ones that have been washed in Kangen water.
Oh.
Now, because Kangen has got the tiny molecules, it actually gets inside the oil-based pesticides and herbicides and gets them off. So, you know, cocktail, anyone? Okay, so that is a very good demonstration of improving the quality of your food by washing it in strong Kangen water to get off the pesticides and herbicides. So this fellow is spraying, look what he's wearing. You think if he has to wear that, he might be spraying something slightly poisonous? Yeah. So that's what they have to wear to do the spraying, and you really wouldn't want to eat it. I mean, what happens is that the farmers spray it, they take it to the market, people buy it and take it home, and they wash it under tap water. And as you saw, the tap water does not take off the pesticides and herbicides. The strong Kangen water does. And the strong Kangen water is the one you can put 2 litres in your washing machine, and you don't need to buy soap powder anymore. And it really does work. Excellent.
Glyphosate's poison.
Glyphosate's extremely poisonous. Now, that's only about a dozen uses for Kangen water, but there are actually 100 uses. Oh, I've got them all written down. If anybody wants, I can email them, and that will just save you hundreds of dollars. These are things like laundry powder, mouthwash, don't even need toothpaste or deodorant, Jif or Ajax, carpet cleaner, Dettol, hand sanitizer, toner. One of the waters is beauty water. It's just fabulous, sprayed over your face and hair, makes it lovely and shiny. And face cleaner and degreaser. And so, you know, you have a machine in your home that is capable of doing so many wonderful things for your health and well-being, and will save you a lot of money as well. Now, people, when they hear about Kangen water, they often do the modern thing and they Google it. Now, if you do that, you are likely to get very confused, because anybody can say anything they like on Google. So if you want some accurate information, there's a site, and here you would just go scholar.google.com and you type in ERW water. Stands for electrolyzed produced water, which is the scientific name for Kangen water. So scholar.google.com, type in ERW water, and you will find tests and trials that have been done scientifically correctly that prove the efficiency and benefits of this water. Much better than Google. And the Kangen 8 is the model in the kitchen, which you can have a wee look at. It's been came out 10 years ago to celebrate 40 years in business. And we have now been in business 50 years. It makes all 8 waters. It lasts for up to 40 years, although I had someone recently take one apart, and they said apart from the power supply, it should last 100 years. This is the quality of the Enagic machines. They are absolutely amazing from an electronic point of view. They're very, very sound. And the Japanese do great work. They do. So that's the top model. The water will last for a long time. You can drink Kangen water for months, but the antioxidants have a limited shelf life. This one is 5 days. They decrease gradually. And it speaks 8 languages, which we all need. Not. Also, this machine, you can go to somewhere like America and just have a wee plug, and you don't need to have a transformer because of the different power supply. So that's the top-notch one. This is the SD501. This has been around for decades, and it was the first machine I ever bought 13, 14 years ago. It has never missed a beat. It's incredibly reliable. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It has 7 plates. The K8 has 8. So the K8 has just that smidgen more power. This comes in the platinum, or as my daughter calls it, the pretty one, and the standard model. Makes all the waters last for 20 to 30 years, and they both have a 5-year warranty. That's the shower unit. We call it an NS bar, and I wouldn't be without one. And that's the inside workings of the machine, which you all need to know about, not. The water comes from the tap, goes through a carbon filter, then it goes into the engine where it is goes through the ionizing process and is split into 2 hoses, one alkaline, one acidic. So the type of water you drink is probably the most important thing for your health.
Sally, did you want to show the actual machine?
This is the K8, the top of the line. I've had this one for a few years. It came here to Australia with me on the aeroplane in my hand baggage, and it's been absolutely wonderful to have here for the last 3 weeks. There you go.
What do you need, Sally? What do you need to do? You just need to hook it up to the tap.
See, that's tap water. You just switch that little lever, and it's Kangen water. And it talks to you. And you just push the buttons to get the different waters. Yeah. There you go. And it's a very nice looking machine. Winter white, lasts a long time. Very long time. Okay.
And is that the one you would use traveling? Like, is that the one you're traveling with?
Yes.
When you travel around? Yeah, that's the one. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And can anyone install that into their tap? Is it hard? Do you need, a plumber?
Most taps are quite easy. Some people have interesting taps, but we have got all kinds of fittings. It's very rare for me not to be able to fit one. If I can't put it in the kitchen, I'll put it in the laundry.
Okay, yeah. And so when you take it traveling, it's quite easy because you can find a tap somewhere in the hotel or whatever.
Yeah, we've had it in bathrooms, kitchens, once through a hose, out the toilet window.
I know John that introduced me to the water took his on a ship, on a cruise.
Well, I was wondering about that because I want to go on a cruise next year. So
Okay.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah.
It's a wonderfully interesting subject, and it has certainly changed my life.
Yeah.
And Mum.
Yours.
Thank you so much for that, Sally. That was and Neil for so insightful, so much information, which is fantastic. And I'm all into health and finding out the healthiest way we can be. And sometimes there's not one way, but here is definitely a way that looks amazing. So tell us if anyone is interested in having more information or wants to purchase a Kangen machine. Do we say machine? What did I say? Kangen machine?
Correct terminology, yes.
Okay. Well, who would they tell us? Where do we go? Well,
Neil lives here.
I live here.
So you need his phone number.
My phone number is 041.
You know what? I'll put that details so you don't have to say it online. I'll put all those details below, your email or phone number, whichever way you want to be contacted.
Yeah.
And for anybody that wants to have a look at my website, which includes my presentation, some success stories, and some videos by health professionals, nutritionalists, sports coaches, and even a brain specialist, my website is www.yourhealthandwater.com.
Right. All right. So I'll put that link below, Sally. I'll put your details below, Neil. And then if anyone has got any questions or wants to have more information or just wants to buy Buy a great
Ooh.
machine.
We give free trials.
Oh,
Yes.
fab.
Free trials.
Free trial.
Test
Yeah.
it out for ourselves.
Yeah.
That's so good. Oh, thank you so much for that. I now have seen it all and I'm just so interested. Neil's been telling me for ages about it. So thanks, Neil, for sorting this out and getting showing me and showing everyone else who wants to watch this to what water can do. Obviously it's so important, and yeah, you guys are on something here that is like really beautiful.
It was very timely with Sally being here and to help out. Sure, yeah.
I'll be back.
We can meet in the flesh next time. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonita.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.